From the Detroit Free Press, it's Friday, December 11th. Here are today's top stories, presented by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Bush's has over 4,000 Michigan products, including the freshest fruit and vegetables, meat, seafood, and baked goods. Stop by one of Bush's 16 locations for the personal service you expect from your neighborhood grocer.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Kristen Shamus. An advisory committee of some of the nation's top scientists voted Thursday to recommend emergency approval of Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine. The vote brings the vaccine one step closer to clearing the final regulatory hurdles in the biggest mass vaccination effort in U.S. history. It's one many hope will bring a swift end to a pandemic that has killed more than 10,000 Michiganders. And it means that in a matter of days, the vaccine could begin to be injected into the arms of Michigan's roughly 600,000 healthcare workers, who will be the first to be immunized. State health officials say Michigan is earmarked to receive about 84,000 doses of the Pfizer vaccine in mid-December, if it gets emergency use authorization from the U.S. FDA. About 300 sites across the state, including hospitals and health departments, have signed up to receive shipments of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccines. To learn more about the vaccines and how Michigan's healthcare organizations are mobilizing to immunize their workers, go to freep.com.
I'm Frank Witzel with the Detroit Free Press. The mother of a 4-year-old who disappeared more than a quarter of a century ago died this week with no resolution of what became of her little boy, DeJuan Sims. DeJuana Wiggins died Monday in North Carolina. She had moved there from Michigan. Wiggins had said her son went missing while they were shopping at Wonderland Mall in Livonia in 1994. It was the same year Susan Smith made national headlines falsely claiming her kids were kidnapped, while she was the one who killed them. Captain Ronald Tagg, who has been trying all these years to solve the mystery of what happened to the toddler, said it was sad. He added Wiggins' death makes it more challenging to solve the case, but doesn't diminish his resolve. Police have one lead. They had been waiting on a DNA match to confirm whether a man who came to the police station a year ago might be DeJuan Sims. The man provided a DNA sample, which was submitted to the University of Northern Texas for analysis. The police department already had samples from DeJuan's parents, but Tagg said the pandemic is holding up lab results. Still, when Wiggins spoke to the man, claiming to be her son, she didn't think he was. He wasn't able to answer key questions about birthmarks and other identifiers that would have convinced her or tell her his birthday.
I'm Sloan Taranella with the Detroit Free Press. After losing her job and being threatened with eviction, a Michigan mother was given some comfort after Taylor Swift donated $13,000 to her GoFundMe page. After reading about Shelby Selesky in the Washington Post article, Swift left a note with her donation that said, "No one should have to feel the kind of stress that's been put on you. I hope you and your beautiful family have a great holiday season. Love, Taylor." The Macomb County mother has 2 children, and her daughter was born with a collapsed lung, which makes her at high risk during the pandemic. Selesky told the Washington Post that her lights were shut off during her son's 3rd day of virtual kindergarten, and her landlord taped eviction notices on her door 3 times after missing a few rent and utility payments. However, Selesky can now have peace of mind during the holidays with Swift's and other people's donations. On Thursday, the GoFundMe page raised over $22,000 with a $25,000 goal. Swift also made news Thursday by announcing a surprise new album releasing at midnight titled Evermore.
This is Julie Hines of the Detroit Free Press. If the acting thing doesn't work out, Mad Men star Jon Hamm can always find a job as a spokesman for Detroit tourism. The Emmy-winning actor spent a good chunk of his Wednesday appearance on The Tonight Show saying nice things about Detroit and plugging the city's famous Coney dogs. Hamm spent much of fall 2020 here in the Motor City filming No Sudden Move, a crime drama set in 1950s Detroit and directed by Steven Soderbergh. On a trip outside the filming bubble, he made a hot dog run with co-star Don Cheadle to Lafayette, Coney Island. As Hamm told Jimmy Fallon, "You know, they're right next to each other," referring to Lafayette's close proximity to American Coney Island. The 2 restaurants share a wall in downtown Detroit. Hamm summed up the rival Coney destinations this way: If you don't like the hot dogs here, the exact same thing is right next door, he told Fallon. According to the Detroit Historical Society, the American Coney Island was opened in 1917, while Lafayette Coney Island opened in 1924. Jimmy Fallon compared the rivalry to a Curb Your Enthusiasm storyline from 2020, where star Larry David opens a spite store, Latte Larry's, next to a coffee shop that he holds a grudge against, Mocha Joe's. And Jon Hamm replied, "It's not a spite store, or it might be a spite store, but if it is, it's going on for 70 years, so it's amazing." Well, he was pretty close. As the Detroit Historical Society puts it, both of these Detroit Coney Islands are incredibly popular to this day, where there is an ongoing argument over which establishment serves the best Coney dog.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. If you're a fan and want to support our quality local journalism, subscribe. Go to freep.com/special offer.